Hello, Red Wave. Welcome to Boise Bulldogs podcast. How's everybody doing? Big, huge win. The Dogs beat Boise. Oh, okay, I'm tired. Sorry, Kay. Let me catch my breath here. How's everybody doing? I see. Oh gosh, did I do it too early? All right. Well, if you quickly rewind to the beginning, I did a quick dance during the intro, and I'm going to post more videos tomorrow. I'm posting videos tomorrow. So I hope you all got to see that. If you didn't, it's in the beginning. I did it. Bob's here. Rob is here. Keith's here. Tyler's here. And everybody will continue to join. Let us know where you're watching from and what beverage you're enjoying. I have a Pinot Noir in Fresno, California. The power went out of my house, Caleb. So I am sitting I had to run to the farm office and I'm here. So if you hear baby screaming and things like that, I'm sorry, everyone. Caleb, I'm seeing they want to see you dance too. But
I feel like we should probably do it towards the end once more people join the live.
There we go. And we're gonna have to get a donation button because I'm gonna have to set up a poll because I'm starting to feel like Okay, well, how are you doing, man? How was the weekend?
Oh man, weekend was great. Obviously the game is good. I mean, it was a beautiful night too. I mean, it wasn't cold at all. So sorry if my forecast led you astray there on the preview, but overall it was good weekend. And any time Fresno State can beat Boise State is definitely going to make it a good weekend.
Yes, I forgot to do one thing as I see things in the comments. Hold on, everybody. I'm sorry, Caleb. You can keep them company real quick.
All right. Let's see. So Keith is saying that the Broncos he thinks they might be parting ways with Avalos last night just because of that performance. So that would certainly be interesting if this was the end of the Avalos era in Boise. But what do you think? There was a comment from Keith about the Broncos might get a new head coach after that last game.
We had on our get to know last year, I asked the guy because I wasn't impressed with Avalos and I thought he would be gone soon, and they were pretty happy with him. If I'm a Boise fan, I'm pretty upset. I mean, we talked to Bob, and Bob said everyone's pretty frustrated and disappointed in their current season. I wouldn't be surprised if Avalos isn't there. There was a coach, an interim coach last year. I forget his name. You guys know who it is. You could put it in the chat, but he was an experienced coach who knew exactly what to do, and I think he's the only reason they were pretty good last year.
The coordinator?
Yes.
Dirk Cutter.
Yes, Cutter. That's the only reason they were, and he's not there this year, is he?
Nope.
Yeah, that's the name everyone should want at Boise as a head coach, but I know he doesn't want to coach anymore. As far as I remember, I could be wrong on that. But anyways, yeah, I'm a no for Avalos, but I'm a no on Boise. Yes, we ended their season. That is for sure. Okay. That was a wild beginning, Caleb. Oh, Bob, I saw your comment about Stanford. Yes, it was a Stanford logo. My dad is a Stanford alum, so he had that up. He's got it up in the office, but all his money has gone to Fresno State. So he is now given more money to Fresno State, and he feels like a Bulldog. He cheers for the Bulldogs. He's a Bulldog through and through, not a Cardinal. He does cheer for the Cardinals, but he's a Fresno State Bulldog. But for all of us, I took it down. We don't have to worry about that. All right. We're going to get to your guys' responses first, and then and we'll talk from there. And Caleb, when things come up, we can talk about it. And everybody in the chat, make sure. We'll be looking at it. Yeah, it's not your dad's fault. He made a poor choice of schools. I mean, it's hard. Yeah, I know. All right, so I'm going to start by saying you can follow us on X. If you're new here, you can follow us on X, former Twitter at @beware_Bulldogs, and on Instagram, Beware Bulldogs Podcast. We put it up after every game for you guys. Or you can join us every Sunday at 7 p.m., and you can see the chat is going crazy today. We love you guys. Make sure you get in there and and let everybody know. And I mean, this is a place to get to know the Red Wave and plan where we're going to meet next. So I see some people, they talk and do things like that. So it's pretty cool. And on X, people do that as well. So, all right, first Instagram, Cody Benbow. I always struggle with I don't know what it is at the end. Great team win. Pretty sad to see the Red Wave leave when it was still a game in the fourth. Yes, I agree. I can't argue. Huge crowd though. I will say the Red Wave was insane. There's a couple things I'll say about how things were ran. Adam is enjoying a Givli Cabernet to celebrate. Love to hear it after when the Dogs win. But Caleb, anything to say about Red Wave leaving before the end of the game? And it was a close game.
Yeah, that was a little surprising. I mean, I was glad to see that at least after halftime, I mean, the majority of the crowd was still there. So I did take some positives away there. And overall, that was one of the louder crowds that I remember at former Bulldog Stadium. I watched back, actually, thanks to Adam on his channel. If you don't follow Adam on YouTube, go follow him because he posts a ton of old Fresno State clips and highlights and stuff. So I was watching a video on his channel. It was the 2013 game, Fresno State versus Boise. And in the TV broadcast, like, you could hear the crowd. And so that kind of got me excited going into the game. Like, okay, hopefully we can, try to match that. And I think for the most part, the crowd did a really good job of being involved really the whole game and yelling. So overall, I'm not going to criticize the Red Wave for leaving early because I think that, they contributed enough and really made a difference in the game.
Yeah, I agree. Couple things. Adam, make sure you drop your channel name in the chat. So if no one knows, or if they haven't heard of your channel, they could see it. Tyler makes a good point. He says we need some afternoon starts. I agree. My wife and I were at the game. We were talking, oh man, we need to bring our son to this. It's so fun. And we see everybody walking around with babies. And then about halftime, mid third quarter, they're all leaving. See, this is why we don't bring them. I understand why people are leaving. So yeah, I can't blame them. It's late. But the atmosphere was great. The only other thing, and I want to get your guys' take on this too. I want to see what you guys say in the chat, is the new thing that they did this week was they played music when we were on defense after every single play. And one, you guys know, I don't do a very good job with keeping up with the times and pop culture and things like that. So I did not relate to any of the music. Some, yes, some, but not all. And if we're going to play music after every single play, I really need some good football music, pump up music, not like mumble rap stuff that I could make on this soundboard right here. Please. That's my only thing. Now, Caleb, tell me what you think about that, because I also was thinking, and I texted Learfield and I said, what are we doing to the band? What are we going to do with them now? Are they just halftime show? Because
right.
I miss the band. I want the band. Back in the day, they used to play like that Vader march and things like that. I don't hear that. I didn't hear Hey Baby all game. That's what makes college football, and the atmosphere of it. That's why I love college football. A lot of it is the band at the games, and we miss that.
Now that you bring it up, I didn't notice that it was less band last night. It sounded just louder. So I guess if it was probably, the next, or I guess the last game of the season, if it's the same thing, then maybe, I'll notice it. But I do think that if, the public address can play the music at a loud decibel and can disrupt the defense or the opposing offense, I don't have a problem with that. So I guess I will disagree with you again.
I can't argue with that. It made the crowd louder. I can't argue that they were. So a couple things that I'm seeing on here. I just have to laugh. Adam says it'd be cool for the team to stick around after a win with the remaining crowd sing the Bulldog Spirit song. I agree. I do think it's special for the team to sing it as a team. Those are special moments in the locker room. Maybe I would love to just have the crowd sing it. The team doesn't even have to be out there. I'd sing it. But that brings up a post on Twitter. We're only one post in on our stuff, but I don't know if you saw, Caleb. There was someone that covers Boise State complaining about the Red Mile after the game. Well, before and after the game. And the Boise fans and some UNLV fans were going in at us. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. I mean, some of the things they said were just flat out mean and wrong, but I put some tweets out there. They don't understand that. It scares them. Everyone has to go through it, though. If you guys aren't on X or Twitter, I encourage you to go check it out. It's under our profile. I retweeted it, put some tweets up there. So I don't know. Did you see that, Caleb?
I did. And I think that's just called home field advantage. I think that they should. I mean, Boise's attendance has not been consistent this year, and UNLV, they have a huge stadium. There's no way they're going to fill it up. So I think they're just jealous that they don't have that type of fan base. So I think that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, we're a family here, and yeah, they're jealous. Shoot, Boise couldn't even pack a Mountain West championship game. Come on now. And they're just honestly, they're soft, very soft. Okay, we'll keep going. Tyson Rod, did Caleb enjoy that kick return touchdown? You bet. I'm gonna put a whole thread together of all my dancing that I did during the game, and I tried to turn the camera on right when it happened. My thought process during, I got to take you through this whole, it was an event in our row. It was pretty fun though. So they squibbed it. First of all, thank you for squibbing it. And Malik grabbed it and I was really happy. I wonder if, we're just going to pull this stuff that we've pulled in the past, just kind of knee it. Let's go to the locker room. Malik grabs it, breaks away. Like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to dance. Oh my gosh, we're going to break the curse. Oh no, the kicker's going to catch him. Oh shoot. What? And then in the back of my mind, well, I guess I'm not going to have to dance and embarrass myself in front of everyone. And oh my gosh, Malik broke the tackle. Oh my, and then craziness after that. Unbelievable. Everybody's screaming and yelling. Not 2 minutes after that happened, we're still standing up in our section screaming and yelling. My phone starts buzzing like crazy because people start tweeting at me and tagging me and everything. And then I'm getting phone calls from listeners. Joey and the boys start calling me. Shout out to Joey. And I answered and I better see you dancing right now. And they came to our row during halftime, found me, and and made sure that I danced and also brought us a beer. So that was nice. But and I got another call from my college roommate that listens to the show as well. So it was nuts. My wife was wondering what the heck is going on. Why aren't you spending time with us that you brought everyone that you brought to the game? It was wild. And yeah, I see. We're just going to save time here and say Malik, player of the game, obviously. Special teams, offense, yes, all of it. Yep. So yeah, all that dancing by me and those videos were going to be out tomorrow in a thread on X, and I'll put them on Instagram and I'll make sure I get them on YouTube for you guys as well. So should be fun. Caleb, anything? Well, I got to add Ryan Borman adds the kickoff return to end the first half was electric. We just need to talk about it when it comes to affecting the game, because that was a huge moment just to affect the game and the timeline there. So let's talk about that. How were you feeling first kickoff return since 2008, and then how it affected the game?
Oh, I was ecstatic. Right before that happened, I think I said something along the lines of, let's just, take a knee, we'll get into halftime just like we usually do. And my wife's like, oh, there's still 7 seconds left. You never know. And I was like, no, there's 7 seconds. It's not going to happen. So my wife kind of predicted it. So I do need to give her some credit there. But yeah, cool. It was, so it was just crazy. I mean, you could feel the energy of the stadium building once he, kind of got to midfield, and then thankfully the kicker was not super athletic with his tackle attempt, and Malik was able to shred him. So
yeah, I mean, there was a 1-score game after Boise had scored.
Yeah.
And kind of momentum shifting toward, not really in Boise State's favor, but they grabbed a little momentum back with that score. And the life was sucked out of them once that happened. Granted, they stayed in the game the second half, but huge swing at the end of the half there. Massive. So I guarantee you we won't get another squib kick. And most people will not be kicking to Malik anymore. Just not even after that return, just watching him run the ball out of the backfield. Nobody's kicking him the ball anymore. So, but I will say this, and we're kind of jumping right to special teams. To Jalen Gill, we've talked about we'd like to see him a little more explosive, catch the ball, hit top speed quickly. He did that, and he had a good run. I mean, he had a shot, kind of, not really, but he broke a bit, probably his biggest return that I can remember. There might have been one or two more that were decent, but I saw speed and a burst of speed from him that I haven't seen this year, and I really like that.
Yeah, definitely. It was good to see that development in the kicking game, and maybe that's just some confidence after the Malik return, and or it's something at halftime that the coaching staff was able to see, and hey, that this is what was successful in that return. So, got to credit the special teams coaching staff for that. I guess the only negative on special teams this week was getting burned on the fake punt. And I mean, as soon as they came out with that formation, because it was different than the formation that they punted from, it was like, oh, great, here's another fake. And of course it was. And then the one after that where the guy almost got like sacked for safety and then punted it off. It was just a really bizarre punting day for Boise.
Yeah, I'll get to, that punt. If we block that punt, that's a huge swing, or just tackle the guy in the end zone. That's massive. There were a lot of plays in this game where we could have blown this open. I mean, Lavelle dropped a pick, Mo dropped a pick. I mean, we had 2 chances in the red zone where we set up for field goals. I mean, we'll get there. We'll talk about that. But I mean, there was a lot that this team, we know they watched it today, and they're thinking to themselves, they're kicking themselves today because this could have been a 50-30 game rather than 37-30. So in that sense, I didn't feel like it was that close most of the game because of those reasons. And then you look up, and, oh my goodness, Malik ran it back, and it was great. Go up by 2 scores. Yeah. But if he fell over, the game's over. So, but I'm glad he took it. So anyways, let me get back to you guys on social. Imsol85, Sherrod to the house. Everybody dance now. And then he says, why 3 throws on 1st and goal at the 4? Yes. And I totally agree with that. Why question? We just came off, and I texted Caleb this, and you guys remember this. We did a fake wide receiver screen and hit Trey on a wheel route. It was beautiful. And Keen it was a rocket. It was nice. He got there quick. And then we threw the ball 3 times, and all 3 were overthrows. One was an out route. I think on 3rd down, it was a fade to Josiah. And then one was through the back of the end zone. And on one of those, I think it was on 3rd down, Malik was wide open on a swing route there. And he was very upset. Everyone in the stadium saw it. And then he told them, and then he just proceeded to tear everyone apart. But that my first thought was, oh man, we throw the check down a lot, and then when it's finally open, we don't throw it. I would like to see Gilliam in. We saw him in. We're on the 4-yard line. Let's run the ball. We are having success against Boise run defense. Once, please. And I always say this: when you're on the goal line and you throw the ball every time, everyone remembers that you threw the ball. if you run the ball 4 times on the goal line and get stuffed, they remember it for a little bit, but then they'll forget. Like, good job, defense. But if you throw the ball 3 times, 4 times, everyone will remember that. So, I'd like to see Gilliam in that situation. Yeah, Bob says he did score a rushing touchdown. Yep, exactly. He should have had 2. So, what's your thoughts on that?
Just goal line offense in general, and even short yardage too. I get frustrated that we don't do any type of quarterback sneak or just a quick handoff, like from under center, just to try to keep the defense off balance and to do it quick. So just overall, that's a general frustration for me. I agree. I would like to see at least one rushing attempt, but I mean, maybe Coach McCann had some mismatch that he liked. I don't know. I just agree with you. We gotta put the ball in our playmakers' hands right away, and that's kind of where Mikey not really being a weapon to run the ball is a bit of a weakness, because a lot of teams are able to run some sort of option or RPO in the goal line, and a lot of times the quarterback has an open running lane. So that's another situation where having Mikey be a little bit more mobile would be beneficial to this offense. But overall, good performance from Mikey. So I'm not trying to take away from him, but I think that's another facet of his game that could help the Fresno State offense in these short yardage situations.
Right. Everyone pray for Mendoza D. He had to pee during the kickoff return. So man, dude. Yeah. So I'm just scrolling through the comments real quick here. Tyler says we ran some option early and seemed to work. I don't know why we don't get creative in the run game. I agree. I think we ran 2 pitch plays.
Mm-hmm.
So my internet is really crummy out here at the farm office. It was the same play, but we ran it in opposite directions. And I think the second time we found success running it the other way. So yeah, things like that. I mean, it wasn't too crazy or too creative, but it was different. And then we have a couple of comments on Josiah Freeman. Yeah, I'm going to save that for when we get to numbers. Cole is here at the farm office, but he's commenting on YouTube. I want to say that the game was called terribly by McCann. Oh my, okay. It seemed that way, but we scored 37. Okay. All right, somebody go after my brother. Go. Chris, I know you ran into him today at lunch. Go get him.
I think I'd have to disagree with you, Cole. Before we hit record here, Caleb, you and I were just talking about the offense, and we were saying, hey, Mikey was throwing the ball down the field. We were actually taking vertical shots. This was a different look to this offense, and it seemed like there was definitely an adjustment that was made in terms of play calling, and it worked. The offense was able to move the ball, and Mikey was very accurate with throwing the ball down the field. So yes, I would have to disagree and agree with Bulldogs Bob that maybe Cole should stick to basketball, which is upcoming. So stay tuned to the end of the show here, because we're going to touch on basketball a little bit. I'll go with Cole's point here. We were kind of bailed out on big plays from Malik. At the end, he has the long run. We had the kickoff return. So in that way, also we had an insane catch by Mac, an insane catch by Josiah, which, you got to take those shots with those athletes, but you don't have that, and things change a lot. It kind of goes back to our offense stalling out again a couple times. By the way, Carson did awesome punting the ball. But I will say about McCann, I was thinking about it, and I talked to Cole today, and we talked about this a little bit. I got to be transparent here. And, I was in agreement with Cole, and I was thinking about it. And, in some cases like that, when we fake a wide receiver screen,
or we run the ball outside. We get our playmakers in space. Those are good calls, and we executed them well and gained yards and scored touchdowns. That's good. Then other times, like 3 plays in a row on the 4, yeah, I'm putting that on McCann, and we can't have that. And a couple other times. So, I think everyone is still figuring it out. McCann's new, Mikey's young, doesn't quite have the arm yet. He's banged up. We're getting there. And to do this at home against Boise is a huge step in the right direction. And Cody adds, because of that, we better not have a letdown next week. I agree. All right. And Andy, thanks for we're with you, man. He made it through the wedding. We're drinking Boise tears for you, my friend, because you missed it. All right. When the team is healthy, Teddy seems to have the Broncos number, says Row HLK. And Diego Hunting Slug says, Boise State is soft. I agree. Single-use plastic says, you can dance if you want to. And yeah, I know who that was directed at. And then it says, slowly but surely, it appears the offensive line is playing better. And by the end of games, the team can finish with the running game. Mikey played pretty well, but those inexplicable interceptions, just baffling and real momentum killers. We need a goal to go package with Fife and Gilliam. 100%. So I took my youngest brother to this game, and I was sitting next to him. And when Mikey threw that interception, I think he threw it. The guy was not open. It was an under route. I think it was to Malik or Gilliam, and not open, missed him, and right into the guy's hands. And we said, what just happened? What was that? I totally agree. We cannot have those. And then I 100% agree with Fife on the goal line. And so, Caleb, there you go. I think that's a McCann thing. We got to get Fife and Gilliam in on the goal line.
Yeah, that makes sense. On the interception, it was a strange play because Mikey wasn't totally pressured. He actually had some time to throw, but it was just good coverage by the Boise defense. So, and he was in the pocket, so he probably couldn't have thrown it away without getting an intentional grounding penalty. So, he really should have just got outside the pocket and threw it away, but he decided to force it and then overthrew. So, just a bad throw, bad play. I'm sure Tedford's going to let him have it, and he was pretty frustrated after that one, that's for sure. So, but yeah, I would love to see Logan kind of be the goal line quarterback. I mean, my only concern is that Fresno State turns into a trash 2-quarterback system like Boise State with Taylor Green and Madsen both throwing picks. So that was awesome.
Yeah. All right. Adam, I see the T Heavy, and Keith, I know we're young, and I didn't know about the T Heavy until we honored Coach Sweeney, and I talked to Mr. Pletz's dad. He brought up, he's like, we have to run T Heavy to honor Sweeney tonight on the goal line. We have to. And so I thought, oh boy, I better educate myself. And I went and watched T Heavy film, and I 100% agree. All teams should run T Heavy. They're, the Philadelphia, the QB tush push. No, T Heavy. Let's do it. I'm all about it. All right, let's keep going. I commented, Boise State fans whine more than my 1-year-old. Okay. Jonathan Stormer, I called it close, 34-24. He picked 34-24. It's 37-30. By the way, no one got it this week. So Larry Farnsworth, great win. Let's be honest. If Boise doesn't give us a chance to run back the kick to close the first half, it's a different game. Yeah. Same with shutting them down on first drive of second half. This team is really good keying in on other teams' mistakes and taking advantage. Go Dogs. Yeah. We had 2 picks this game. We converted on most drives. We looked good. I'll keep going. William Jennings. The calls to be in seats by kickoff are valid. Unfortunately, it's almost impossible with the Mickey Mouse security set up when trying to enter. 1 tray per metal detector, making TSA look like NASA. They knew this was a sellout weeks before the game. The school has to do better. Here's my tip to everyone. The student section entrance was empty when I entered the game. There's 2 sides to the student section entrance. One is always very short. Don't tell anyone, but that student section line is short, way shorter than anywhere else. And yeah, this security they can't get it right. He also said Sherrod was visibly upset at the end of the first half when we had the first and goal from the 4. Yeah, there it is. Tedford even had to go say a few words to calm him down.
Mm-hmm.
And then he says defense was awesome. Not running the ball on second down when Boise was out of timeouts in the final minutes was a true test of my sanity as a Bulldog fan. Say his name, Malik Sherrod. Got their asses. Go Dogs. Oh, man. Well, thank you guys for all of that. That was fun. All right. Caleb, anything on those comments?
Well, I mean, there's a lot that we could get into. I feel like we'll probably get into it once we go over some of the stats. So why don't you tell us about some of our sponsors, and then we can get into the numbers.
Good idea. So some of you have mentioned, and I have mentioned, Givoli Winery. Givoli Winery is a local winery located in Biola, on Biola Avenue, just north of Shaw. They're open Saturdays and Sundays from noon to 5. Fly. And on weekdays by appointment only. Local wine. The winemakers are from here, grew up here, went to Fresno State, big Fresno State fans. And if you're looking to throw an event, they can do that as well. There's also wood fire brick oven pizza. That's Givoli Winery, located on Biola Avenue, just north of Shaw, noon to 5, Saturdays and Sundays. And by the way, Caleb, here's an announcement with Givoli Winery and Learfield. We're doing some things with Learfield. December 10th. Everyone get out your calendars. December 10th is a Sunday. Bucket golf tournament at Givoli Winery.
It's back.
And it's back. Yes. And if your wife or girlfriend or loved one is not into golf, there's going to be a bunch of vendors for more catered towards females, but there will be plenty of vendors at Givoli for them to go shopping and do your holiday shopping and things like that. So Givoli Winery, December 10th at 10 a.m. We're not signing up yet. We don't have signups yet, but just put that in your calendar. Then I have to add, since it's Sunday, the Vine Church in Fresno on Shaw, just west of Grantland. They meet on Sundays at 10 a.m. Big supporters of Fresno State Athletics and Beware Bulldogs podcasts. If you guys need prayer, if you're looking to get plugged into your community, they meet Sundays 10 a.m. The people there are kind, welcoming, and the pastor speaks biblical truth. Sundays, and if you want to get plugged into small groups or anything like that, let me know. I attend there, and they have decided to sponsor this podcast. So thank you, the Vine Church in Fresno on Shaw, just west of Grantland, Sundays, 10 a.m. All right, Caleb, shall we get to numbers?
Yes.
All right, let's do it. Mikey Keene, 24 of 38, 290 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Now, we've talked about it. We talked about the interception, I should say. To be honest, if I'm going to grade Mikey, I'm giving him probably B+. It looked pretty good. The only thing I would if I was going to critique him, we got to stay in the pocket. We got to step up in the pocket rather than rolling out and just running all the way to the sideline and trying to make a crazy throw off your back ankle. And then the interception. Other than that, he looked good. He executed the game plan. He had some overthrows. I mean, we can always get better. But luckily, Malik Sherrod helped him out a lot. So, talk to me about Mikey.
Arm strength is still a concern. I know he had a throw, I think it was in the first half, where he was rolling out to his right, tried to hit. I want to say it was Brooks in the end zone. Maybe it was someone else, but I mean, he was throwing on the run, which is difficult, but he just doesn't have the juice to throw it 40 yards on the run, which is going to be tough. So He did have some really nice throws, though, so I do want to compliment him that he was able to make the throws, deep along the sideline and had a handful of completions there. So that was nice to see. Had a handful of third and long completions that were really impressive, and so I think that he was seeing the defense well. Wide receivers were doing a good job of getting open and holding onto the ball. I know Jalen Gill dropped one early, but offense was able to overcome that. Trey Watson held on to a couple tough ones and getting crushed. And I mean, Mac made a really tough catch on the sideline after a good throw from Mikey. So overall, no complaints there. I curious to see how the knee handle holds up after this week, because some of the comments in the chat are I guess showing or saying severity of the injury. He had to get his knee drained at halftime, and so I guess something to monitor going forward. Obviously, he was able to play in the second half, so he was able to tough it out. But yeah, definitely something to look out for going forward. Overall, I agree. B plus, I think, is a good rating for him. If he doesn't throw the pick, it's definitely higher.
Yeah, and Andy, yes, you are totally right. We got to give love to the O-line. The O-line, they're much improved. They've done a decent job. I think the level of play from the Boise State D-line and linebackers is not, you can't really compare them to the teams we played prior, but they did a good job. They kept them upright for the most part. Yeah, he took some. I'm going to say, I'll say the times Mikey got hit, I'm going to put that on him. He should have stepped up or rolled out a certain way rather than running backwards or something. Yeah. So, but yes, the O-line, huge. That huge improvement, especially since the beginning of this season. Logan Fife got in there. He went 1 for 2 for 13 yards. So totaled 303 yards through the air, 25 of 40. I think with this injury to the knee, and Teddy talked about it in his presser, and even just hearing that, and Mikey still being out there, it really shows the faith that he has in Mikey. At the same time, it worries me. Like, what do we not know about Logan? Because I think Logan is a great player.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why? If Mikey's really hurt and we care so much about health, what? Why isn't Logan in the game? I don't know. Those are my thoughts. That's the first thing that comes to mind. That's the first thing I thought when I heard that. Okay, running the ball. Malik Sherrod, beast. The dude was possessed. 21 carries, 132 yards, 1 touchdown. He averaged 6 yards a carry. We'll get to his stats later on, his other stats. And then Elijah Gilliam, 6 carries for 19 yards and a touchdown. Mikey Keene was credited with 1 carry for negative 12 yards. So 2 touchdowns on the ground, a total of 138 yards. We carried the ball 27 times with our running backs. That's good. Caleb, you and I both said before this game in the preview, you mentioned Malik Sherrod needs to have at least 75 yards.
Yeah.
Well, here you go. 132 yards. He carried the ball over 20 times. That's unheard of this year.
Yeah,
I'm really happy.
Malik was running angry this game, and I think it was after he was missed by Mikey. So I do think that there was some correlation there, but this was unbelievable. I know that I think Gabe pointed it out today on Twitter. One of the more important plays in the game was in the second half where Malik caught a pass, and he had 3 Boise defenders on him. It was on 3rd down. I think it was like 3rd and 5, 3rd or 6. And he somehow got the 6 yards that we needed on 1v3 and just muscled his way to get that first down. So he was playing out of his mind, which was awesome to see. And obviously he's clearly healthy now, which is good. And it was interesting. We did see some Jonathan Arsenault early in the game. They were doing a little bit of 2 running back formation, and he didn't get any carries, but kind of interesting there that he was getting, some time on the field ahead of Gilliam. I don't know if there's anything going on there, but yeah, overall, Malik's the player of the game. We're going to spoil that a little early here, but just a crazy game from Malik.
Yeah, I was sitting next to some people. They're asking us about Rivers, and it now seems pretty obvious they're trying to save his red shirt with Arsenault in the game. Unless that knee, I know he banged up his knee early in the year with really big injury, but I don't think so. I was happy to see Arsenault in. We haven't seen him much, and with him and Gilliam, I think that's another. Those are good threats behind Malik, so I'm happy with that. Receiving wise, Magdalena led the team in yardage with 85 on 6 receptions. Josiah Freeman, 5 receptions, 65 yards, had a big one-handed catch. Trey Watson, 3 receptions, 58 yards and a touchdown, averaging 19 yards a catch, by the way. Jalen Moss had 3 catches for 38. Malik had 4 catches for 28 yards. Jalen Gill, 3 receptions for 24, and Tim Greer 1 for 5. So 303 yards through the air for this receiving core. What are your thoughts to watching this receiving core do their work?
Well, first stat that jumps out is who's not on that box score, with Eric Brooks, not having any receptions, which that's got to be a first for this season. So that's kind of surprising, but it just shows that there is plenty of talent here for this Fresno State football team. So Magdalena, great game, really tough catch on the sideline, and some other really crucial catches on 3rd down. So overall, very good performance from Mac. Josiah Freeman too is really stepping up. I mean, that's someone that early in the preseason we were hyping up as, hey, Jake Hayner said that this is the next guy, and he's definitely shown that so far this year. And I know that there was some comments in the chat here calling for more Trey Watson. I mean, we've been saying that every week here. So Trey's a beast, and we need to get him the ball more. So overall, Mikey's spreading the ball around, which is good, keeping everybody happy. And our wide receivers are doing a really good job. I mean, really, the only drop that I remember is the Jalen Gill drop, on the deep ball. So other than that, really sure-handed day for the wide receivers, which is a good change.
Yeah, I say it every week. Get the ball to Trey. He's a matchup nightmare. And on the touchdown, there was a linebacker on him.
Yep.
Couldn't touch him. He burned him. And when the tight end seam up the middle there, beautiful and nice play. That's a good throw by Mikey. Kind of threw him open. He knew he was going to be there, and he put it there on the money. Great. So yeah, and shocked to see Brooks not on there. He was targeted, just missed him a couple times. You saw the frustration in Brooks a couple times on some throws, but I mean, overall, these guys are great. It's nice to see Mac up there leading the team in yards. It's something we don't see. And Josiah, our 2 leading receivers, usually down at 3 or 4 behind Jalen Moss and Jalen Gill and Brooks. So these guys get to shine at home against Boise. So good for them. Happy for those guys.
And I think it's crucial to have outside threats that are real. Earlier in the season, we were a little worried that, hey, if our number 1 receiver is Eric Brooks in the slot, that's easy to try to double him. So I think having these guys on the outside that are turning into true weapons is definitely a benefit for this offense.
Richard asks, is Gilliam hurt, Caleb? Because we've seen his carries drop off. I don't think he's hurt. I heard something said by someone in the football program. I believe, I don't know, maybe, I don't know though. I don't know if he's hurt or not. But I'll say that. I don't know if he got in trouble or if he got hurt, but it doesn't seem like he's hurt. So I don't know if he missed practice or something. Who knows? But yeah, I'm shocked to see him not get the carries as well. Glad to see him coming back though this week and getting carries and scoring a touchdown. Let's talk defense, Caleb. This defense, we have very good players. I think we've improved a lot this year. Even though we're still giving up a lot of points, but we're forcing turnovers. We're tackling better than I forget what game it was. The Utah State game. Tackling way better. Talk to me about this defense against Boise tonight. I'm struggling. I'm struggling because we give up over 30 points a lot, which isn't great. But
Right. Yeah, it's weird because I feel like we have a really good defense, but then you look at the score, it's like, wow, I mean, we gave up 30 points. So, maybe they aren't as good as we think they are, but overall, this Fresno State defense held George Holani to 79 yards on 19 carries, which I think is a huge feat. Thankfully, Ashton Genty was hurt. He's a really good playmaker for this Boise State team, so he definitely makes a difference when he's not in there. So holding Holani, who is also a very good running back, to 79 yards is definitely big kudos to this Fresno State defense. And we did mention it in our preview that, hey, we need to force Boise State to beat us throwing the ball. If they're able to just dominate the running game, it's going to be a long day for Fresno State. And I think for the most part, they did give up 177 rushing yards, but Boise needed to throw the ball in order to, move the ball down the field and to convert third down. So I think that Fresno State succeeded there, even though the numbers are a little bit more inflated than they would have liked. So overall, I think it was a really strong performance from the defense, and especially the linebackers. Malachi Langley, Lavelle Bailey, each with 7 tackles. Huge performance, and it was good to see a lot of guys going after the tackle together. Not expecting one guy just to take down Holani on the first effort, because he is a really tough runner. So overall, huge day. Wish we could have had a couple more picks. With Lavelle and Maurice dropping them. It was good to see Devo get a sack. I mean, we haven't really said Devo Bridges' name in a while, but his sack early in the first half was huge for getting some momentum for the Fresno State defense. So that was good to see, and Isaiah Johnson back too with a sack.
yeah, Isaiah was really good. I liked him. Gosh, Johnny Hudson's been good for
Very
a lot
good.
of the year,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, we saw. We were wondering if we'd see 3 linebackers this game. I think there was one possession where I saw 3 linebackers. I think Tuo or CV was back there playing linebacker with Lavelle and Malachi. I think those, and then Phoenix Jackson gets an interception. Huge. A lot of guys coming in and out on the defense. I liked how they took a long time subbing. I don't know if you noticed that, Caleb.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Just take your time, guys. No, on defense. But I was going to say the best quarterback for Boise was their punter.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, yeah. So all year I'd been talking about how bad Talon Green is. Sorry, bud. It's just not that great. And then the week of Wyoming, he performs well. I'm thinking, oh man, Talon Green, is he back? Back. I don't know if you can say back, but is he actually good now? Well, nope. We were texting during the game, like, oh no, it's still not good. There's still a lot of improvement that needs to be made throwing to the air. And Madsen, yeah, he threw for 258 yards, but he had a lot of overthrows, threw a pick, should have thrown 3 picks. I mean, not impressive at all when it comes to quarterback play on Boise. So I got to give credit to our defense. They forced them into a lot of those throws. We put a lot of looks out there on the defensive side of the ball, and I think our linebackers do a really good job of disguising things. And also Mo on the outside. The benefit of Mo playing nickel is, I mean, we know Mo's a freak athlete, but he can come off the edge and blitz or bluff and go back in the zone, and he can stick with their fastest guy in the slot. Mo's a great player, and I really like how the defense is using him. So I'm impressed.
Yeah, and I know that Alzelian Hamilton was getting some love in the chat earlier, so I think we should mention him, that he was matched up on number 80 McAllister a good amount of this game, and he held his own. That was a matchup I was worried about, because McAllister is pretty much their only weapon at wide receiver for Boise State, and I would have rather had him matched up, or at least Carlton Johnson matched up on number 80, but Hamilton held his own, had that pick in the end zone, which was huge. And so I think we're seeing the development of Hamilton to being a really solid corner, which is good. But yeah, personnel wise, there was some strange moments in this game where, I mean, there was some plays where we had 3 safeties in. I mean, Gordon and Comstock and Dean Clark were all in there with three linebackers. So it was very weird. It seemed like it was mostly in the first half where the mass subs was going in and out. So I think Boise kind of cut back on their offensive substitutions in the or in the second half to try to limit that and how much time the Fresno State defense was able to stall. But we did have a comment about Ray Scott. And so I noticed on the sideline, he was suited up, but he never had his helmet on, never was really ready to go into the game. So I don't know what was going on there, but that was kind of concerning to see him, not being able to go into the game.
Yeah. I was looking at that, and Luis Moreno's left a couple questions in here, and going back to the receiving core, he asked a good question. Is the receiving core better than last year's?
Oh boy. That's tough. There was so much star power on last year's team that, talent wise, I think it's probably a more talented group, but that's not to say that this new team is really good too. And I think I'll take a play out of Coach Tedford's book when, he's been asked previously, trying to compare the two teams. And he said, this is a different team. I don't compare them to last year's team. Like I am just concerned with who's here on this team. So I think that this wide receiver group has gotten better every week, which is good. And there's some young guys on this receiving core that have some time left here in the program, which is really promising.
Yeah. I don't know how to answer that. I really like this receiver core. I think they have different talent than the last receiving core had. I don't know if it's better, but it's different. And so, it could go either way. So it's been a lot of fun watching these guys grow, everyone grow and play. And, we're not done. We have a huge game against San Jose, the Hosers, I think they're saying. And I think we came out as 1 point favor, 2 point favorites, quickly moved to 1.5. So it's going to be close. But then, we talked about special teams early on, and they're great. Dylan Lynch was perfect. 3 for 3 on PATs, on 4 for 4 on PATs, 3 for 3 on field goals. He kicked a 48-yarder. And then Carson had 4 punts, 3 of them down inside the 20. One of them he kicked for 51 yards. Carson and Dylan have been money. I'm really happy with special teams.
Yeah, they've definitely gotten better. We should mention the really bizarre Boise kick return where they were flagged for an illegal, what was it? Illegal fair catch. And it was crazy because I saw the guy waving his hands and it looked like, oh boy, we're going to get burned on some crazy lateral kick return here. So really weird play. Leave it to Boise to come up with something bonkers like that. And I'm curious if that's something that, Coach Tedford or Coach Baxter had to point out to the officials, that apparently waving your hands, even though you're nowhere near the football, I guess that counts as a fair catch. So I guess all high school football coaches that are listening to this too, definitely take notes.
It makes sense though.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
Oh, it does.
You're doing this. Yeah. Keith B. Real says McCann is doing a better job than Kirby did. All right. Cole, get in the chat. There's is that a hot take? I don't know. You have to, we're scoring a lot of points. It's hard to argue. Scoring a lot of points. Okay. Some people that we need to thank. Flora Flower Co. Flora Flower Co.'s local flower shop that supports local growers. They get all their flowers from them. Store hours, Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Shepherd and Willow. There's a florist in-house that will help you create a special bouquet for that special someone. And, Thanksgiving's coming up. So make sure you get that big bouquet for the table. And if you use code Fresno15, Fresno, the number 15, you get 15% off your purchase. That works online and in store. Fresno15. And if you'd like a subscription, those subscriptions come with free delivery. You can sign up and they'll send you stuff. Fresno15 for 15% off. That's Flora Flower Co. Thank you, Flora. And we need to thank Eastie's Wood Shop. So like I said, holiday season's coming up. You need to check out Eastie's Wood Shop for your custom woodworking and home decor needs. You have an idea? Let them bring it to life. Check out shopew.store to send them a message, and you can see all their line of personalized gifts for this holiday season. I checked it out, Caleb. It's really cool. They do engravings on glass and metal. He'll do wood. They'll do whatever you want. Go check it out. shopew.store. Use code BEWARE for 15% off your first purchase. That's BEWARE for 15% off your first purchase. And you got one more for us, I know.
Yeah, our last sponsor that we do want to thank is Manage X. They've been a great supporter of Beware Bulldogs and Fresno State for a long time. So they're a full-service property management company, and they service single-family homes, small multifamily complexes, office and industrial properties too. So if you need property management services, definitely check out their website, managex.net, and they'd be happy to help you out. And we thank them for their support.
All right, dude. We're going to get to basketball in a sec, but is there anything else that we need to talk? Oh yeah, we got to talk player of the game, play of the game. Wow, I'm jumping the gun here. Player of the game is Malik. We've talked about it already.
Yeah.
Let's talk about play of the game. What is your play of the game? Well, we got Beware Bulldogs play of the game.
Well, I'm trying to think of something other than the kick return, because I think that was probably the most important play. And like some of the comments were saying, it's a completely different ball game if we're going into halftime only up by 3 points. Boise's getting the ball back, and if they score on the next possession, they go up. So I'm having a hard time finding one. I mean, maybe a third down conversion that was important. I don't really have one in mind, but I can't not go with the kick return that really changed the momentum of the game, broke the 15-year streak. So it's got to be Malik and that kickoff return touchdown.
Yeah, well, that's the obvious one, I think. The Josiah Freeman catch, the one-handed catch, was really good, and I don't remember if that was on a third down. I don't remember. And then also the catch that Mac made on the sideline, that was a great play.
Yeah.
But I think if we're going to talk about momentum, things like first drive, we talk about it every week. Our first drive is always good. We come out fast out of the gates all the time. And I think that was huge for momentum and our boys to get excited about this game and the crowd. So we could talk about the touchdown pass to Trey Watson as the play of the game, kind of set the tone.
Totally.
So, I know a lot happened after that. It's hard to pick the first touchdown in the game, but we talk about setting tone, things like that. But definitely the play that changed the entire game and set the tone for the entire game was the Malik Sherrod kickoff return. And now I need help from you guys because I don't know what I'm going to pick for my everybody dance now. Do I keep going? Should I just keep picking it now? I mean, it took me 3 years, Caleb, to get this.
Yeah.
3 years.
I think we need to figure out something else that hasn't happened, which I don't really, maybe successfully fake a punt. I don't know, something like that.
There you go. Now we're getting Malik's touchdown run at the end, icing it. The first down red zone run that set up the Gilliam touchdown. I thought of that too. That drive that Gilliam scored on, I think we went up 27-10, I think. And that was huge. That whole drive. Yeah, here it is. 14 plays, 68 yards, 7 minutes, 7-minute drive. That's a good drive right there. And to punch it in, running the ball with Gilliam at the end on the goal line, that's huge. All right, here we go. Blocked field goals, pick six. Okay, that's the shoot. Maybe just running it in at the goal line. So, I don't know. Yeah, I'm all about field goal blocks. We got to bring that back.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, perfect. Okay, anything else about this game that we need to touch on?
I think we just about covered it. I mean, I'm sure we could keep talking about specific plays, but overall, really solid game. Our coaching staff is very experienced. That continues to show each week. this team likes playing close games, and so far, I think we're 5-1 in one-score games. So that's definitely a good trend to have. Yeah, this next week is going to be another tough game against San Jose. So Dogs are going to have to be ready, and luckily it's a short drive on the road, which is good. But yeah, it does not get easy after this.
No, it's good. Luckily we don't have to leave California though. It's 3 hours north. So if you guys are making the drive, I don't know. Are you going, Caleb?
I am not going. I will be at a bachelor party in San Diego, actually. So I will be the guy in the bar watching the game on my phone. So,
yeah, my sister-in-law is getting married on Friday. So
okay.
I will catch the game Saturday. But
good.
Yeah, but no, I can't make it, unfortunately. If you guys are there, let us know how everything is. I saw there's a challenge out for Fresno State to have more fans there than San Jose State, which I think is very doable.
Yeah.
And we'll talk more about it as the week goes on. Basketball starts tomorrow, Caleb.
Yeah.
And tomorrow we're going to have our recap of it'll be up Tuesday of Fresno State versus Fresno Pacific men's basketball game. Couple things that I think stood out to me this year. If you guys keep up with basketball, let us know your thoughts in the chat about what you think's going to happen. But Hutt is on his last year of the contract. He's really going to have to do well. Probably get an NCAA berth to stay. And I have seen him and the team out and about more than usual, which I like. I like to see that. The other thing is that we have heard that this basketball team is more athletic. That's coming from Coach Hutt, more athletic than last year. They want to play fast, and they played LMU in a scrimmage a couple weeks ago, or last week, and everything went well. That, they don't say much about these scrimmages and nobody watches them, but it went well. Fresno State played fast, very guard oriented. However, we are also playing with two bigs. So Andre's around. We know he improved a ton last year, and we're going to use two bigs. We've been talking about it. We talked about it last year. We talked about when Big O was here. We like playing with two bigs. At least Boyer Bulldogs likes playing with two bigs.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to do that this year. So I think with a combined attack of a quick, up-pace offense that's attacking the rim, getting to the rim with two bigs is going to be deadly. I listened to a couple people today talking about Fresno State that in the basketball world, they think we could be one of those teams to upset some people. So fingers crossed. I hope so. I'm ready to bring Fresno basketball back. So what are your thoughts? What have you heard? Give me expectations for basketball season and things like that.
I like that we're hearing that we have depth at center or big man. I don't even know if they use center positions anymore, but I like that we have depth there because I think I mentioned this last week. When Eduardo Andre got in foul trouble, the team kind of lost identity and couldn't really figure out what to do. So if we have more guys behind Andre that are capable and can, rebound, get, offensive rebounds, put the ball back, I think that will be very good. I mean, my biggest question is, can we shoot better than like 9% from 3-point? Like, we are just not going to win games if we are atrocious shooting the ball. So there's a lot of new faces. So I guess that's an opportunity to have guys that are better shooters. But obviously, we'll see what happens when it's a live game, and if they're able to get hot and stay hot. Because I mean that's what just doomed this team last year. They just never stopped shooting, and the ball just never went in.
Right, with 3 seconds left on the shot clock. So here's some numbers for you guys. We were top 60, I believe, in the nation in ISO production, or it might have been top 70, and then top 60 in the nation in pick and roll production. That production does not equal a made basket. That production equals getting an open shot off. Okay. And we were one of the worst in the country when it came to converting those baskets. Okay, so there you go. Also, I will add, that was our offense. ISO, Jamal Baker, maybe Isaiah Hill, ISO, or set a high screen with Andre or Jamal or somebody, and then just go on the mismatch if there was a mismatch. But that mismatch, we get an open shot, and we chuck up a three.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's those. I think those numbers are a little misleading. Hopefully, the offense has a little more sets in there to say. I'll put it that way. Some plays in there. That's what we need. Flash Andre high, cut guys off of him. We ran a couple backdoor cuts last year. Did some things that were very good. We need to keep doing that. No, I don't want to play ISO ball. That's how the pros play, and there's a reason they play that way. Is because they're pros and they're freaks. Watch the Euro League. Those guys move the ball unbelievably well and get open buckets, pass, cut, do a bunch of things. That's the way we need to do things in college ball. That's winning programs do, unless you have a freak like Zion. Shoot, they didn't even win it. So, I'm really excited for this basketball season because it's a new start. It sounds like things are going to be better, but we can only go off what we've seen, and in the past, it's been that way. So, can I expect that big of a change in 1 year? I don't know. I don't think so. So, hopefully, we convert on those open shots that we had last year.
Yeah,
we'll put it that way.
The hungry dog runs faster. Let's see how hungry Head is this year. If he wants to keep it going, or if he just mails it in and rides out the contract.
Yep. All right. Well, that's tomorrow. We're going to find out. They play Fresno Pacific. It should be a win. It should always be a win. But shoot, the last couple of years, Fresno Pacific has come out and played us tough in the first half, at least. Mm-hmm. So you got to be careful playing these teams, and we got to put them away. It's the first game, so we'll see how they do. We know what we're going to get defensively. We're going to play tough defense, and we're always well defensively, so we should be fine. We got to rebound, keep Andre out of foul trouble, and score. Score. However it happens, we got to score. But I am excited. So you guys know I'm a basketball guy, and Cole will be here, and Caleb as well. So that is starting tomorrow at the St. Mark Center, 7:00 against Fresno Pacific. Hopefully we'll see you guys there. If you have a football ticket, you get in free. If you had a football ticket to Boise game, you get in free to the game. So don't worry about not having a ticket if you're at the football game. Anything else, Caleb, that we need to touch on?
I think we covered it. We're getting into busy time here with multiple sports. But the football team's 8-1, which is, surprising, but also not surprising. At the beginning of the year, we had high expectations for this team, and they're delivering. So as long as this team wins out, they'll make it to the conference championship game. And I think that this team has the makeup to do it. And right now, everything seems to be clicking and moving in the right direction. So definitely trending up, and excited for, the rest of the regular season here. And hopefully we can, put it all together.
Yeah. Real quick. Devontae Adams seems to be happy again. CIT berth, Andy. I hope not. I heard we lost money playing in the CIT. So,
yep.
And then, Air Force lost to Army.
Yeah, that was bizarre. They got worked.
Yeah. Their quarterback, Larrier, I believe. He played bad. It was bad. So I watched the highlights of that. So, if we play Air Force and our defense comes out hot like they have been forcing turnovers, it's over. We should be just fine. But Army forced them to throw the ball a couple times. So, yeah, Air Force is beatable now, and UNLV smoked New Mexico 56-14. San Diego State lost again. Hawaii beat Nevada. I think Nevada fired their coach. Yeah.
Oh, did they?
Did I
I
hear that?
didn't see that.
I thought I saw something like that. I may be wrong, but I think they fired their coach. And then, Wyoming beat Colorado State. All right. Yeah, Air Force found an opponent who knows the option, Andrew. Yep. That's
good point.
And the Saints won, Bob. Yes. So, I mean, the Bulldogs had a good weekend. So I'm happy to be a Bulldog this weekend. I'm always happy to be a Bulldog, but sometimes it's easier than others, I guess. Thank you guys. So, gosh, smiling. San Diego State lost. I think they're 3 wins on the season, 1-4 in Mountain West, and Robert's smiling. He is happy to hear that. So, thank you guys for your support and tuning in. We will have our preview and get to know for San Jose State coming out this week. I know we had 2 in 1 day last week, so sorry. I think we're cutting things close, but we got them in. So, thanks for all your support. Stay safe, stay healthy. God bless. We'll see you tomorrow night at the Save Mart Center, 7:00. And as always, go Dogs.
Go Dogs.